Okay guys, so I wanted to talk to you about Strava and planning some fitness goals, and I need to get around to doing some screen sharing with StreamYard and show you how I set up my Strava goals. I haven't really set up goals on Garmin. I don't know if Garmin Connect does that or Polar, but I've always just done everything because it gets, it gets streamed over to Strava anyway. And Strava, I can edit out the artifact because I have several devices streaming over to Strava, so I could delete the duplications on Strava, but yet keep them in my, if it's in my Polar Flow or in my Garmin Connect, and keep them there. Anyway, so with Strava, you have the opportunity to plan out the year and set a goal on your mileage. And so let's analyze that. I set a goal for 4,000 miles, and I'm going to come up short. Let me be honest with you and transparent. I'm going to come up short this year by a couple hundred miles, and I'm not trying to make excuses for that. That's just reality. And I have done a little more fitness training this year as far as my gym time and workouts, so my goals for that have actually done better, but my goals for total miles are not as good, and that's okay. I'm still gonna pursue setting new goals for 2024, and let me break it down for you. So let's say you set a goal to ride 5,000 miles for the year. That's a lofty goal, but if you break it down by how many miles you'll ride per week, that's 100 miles per week, and taking 2 weeks off, right? 52 weeks in a year, 100 miles in a week. That's what you would end up with, 5,000. So if you could do that, that's pretty good, because 100 miles a week doesn't seem insurmountable. It seems like a pretty decent week of riding. And as you guys know, I've done several centuries this year. I did surpass my goal of the amount of century rides I did. So I did, well, I didn't get to the initial goal was to do 12 centuries, one a month times 12 months. So I came up short of that, but I ended up doing 10 total centuries for the year, and then I got some other over 90 mile rides to, if I counted my over 90 mile rides into that mix, I've gone over 12, because I did a bunch of 90 mile rides too. So that's what I was thinking. I kind of surpassed my century goal, but if I get granular, it wasn't the full amount. So that's another way I set goals, is set little challenges for myself to ride a century every month, and to ride, you saw my YouTube channel years ago, I talked about seeing how many times I could ride every single day in a row up my local trails on my mountain bike rides. And I think I went a total of like 26 days in a row of climbing my local trail every day. Now that's a short loop, but it's steep. So I either do a 7-mile loop and gain around 1,200 feet, or I do a 14-mile loop and gain over 2,000 feet. I think it's like 2,400 feet. So it's short and steep, but doing it every day was my goal, and doing it as many days in a row on my single speed was my goal. I've done 7 days in a row climbing that single track on my single speed. So those are the little challenges I do for myself. And then I'm just going to throw that out there. Set yourself up with all those challenges. Try to think about KPIs, key performance indexes, that you would set for yourself to make yourself a better rider, or to make yourself ride more, and put that on your calendar. Have that calendar on your desk, on your laptop, in your garage, on the wall, on your refrigerator door, wherever you want to put it, but have it to where you know this is what you're supposed to do. And then every week, look at your goals and look at what you've done the previous week and say, did I hit my 100 miles this week? What do I need to do to get that 100 miles in? Did I miss riding 2 or 3 days? Did I miss doing weights 2 or 3 days? Because maybe your goal is to do more functional training, or more strength training, or more yoga classes. Whatever it is, set out to make those goals and keep track of them. Keep track of them. You don't have to use Strava. I like Strava, but you could just use a regular calendar, that free calendar that you got from your insurance company, or from whatever, the supermarket that gives out calendars. That they used to do that around me. I don't know if they do that around you, but use that calendar and just write it on there and check it off if you're doing it. I used to not have all these computers connected to Strava and to apps and all that stuff, so I just wrote it down on a regular paper calendar. I've actually just made a calendar. One of the simplest things you can make on Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word is you can make a calendar. There's a template for it. So do that and keep yourself in check. Keep yourself in check that you're making these goals, and you will feel better about yourself at the end of the year when you see how much you've accomplished. Even if you've fallen short by hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, the fact that you are making yourself accountable to these goals, accountable to yourself, is going to make yourself more goal orientated, more fitness orientated, and keep you healthy. Ride for life and fit for life. One of the reasons I made the channel is to encourage you guys to keep fit for life. And hopefully, if you're into riding for life. I don't know if you started following my channel because of a long time ago when I had the boot camps at the park, or when I traveled to the Philippines, and it was while I was keeping fit while traveling and living in the Philippines. I was doing CrossFit classes there, or I was working out at my home. But anyway, I've always found a way. Obviously now I have bicycles in the Philippines, but I've always found a way to fit my workout time in and be consistent. And that's the main thing. The main theme of the goal orientation process is to be consistent. So you guys set those goals for 2024 and be consistent and be accountable to your health. It's up to you to put in the time. And have a happy new year, everyone.